Hey, what's up, guys? This is Matt, and my brother sent me this drone for Christmas off of Amazon, and I guess asked me if I would put together a review of it. He doesn't live in the same state as me, so I'm going to record this and send it on over to him and give you my ideas, I guess. I've never really done one of these before, so I apologize if I do something a little bit unusual, out of the ordinary, or ramble on. So figured we'd do with a little unboxing like you see on the YouTube all the kids are doing these days. If we open this thing up, we'll see what we got going on in here. First and foremost is a little welcome letter. Thanks for buying it. Got a few little warnings and cautions on it. Talks about battery usage. You'll see towards the bottom right there, average battery time about 5 minutes, but there's other useful things on here as well. Instruction manual, just kind of your standard stuff, how to use it, how to turn it on, how to charge it, connect it, all that kind of good stuff. Of course, front and center is the Copter itself. There you go. Syma X5C. Underside's got the camera, on-off switch, the battery in there. There you go. In the upper right corner, we got a couple batteries. So there's 3 batteries here. And there's also 1 in the device itself. So you get a total of 4 batteries. Pretty cool stuff. Remote control, pretty obvious thing here. Nothing too unusual about the remote control. Okay, got some foam on it. It takes 4 AA batteries in the back, a couple knobs, a couple buttons. Pretty standard stuff. Screwdriver for installing some of the guards. That's what these are, I think. Yeah, these are your Copter guards. So screwdriver for installing that. You've got a couple of spare blades. I think the screwdriver works for those as well, so you can kind of rock this thing out in different colors, red and blue here. We've got charging cables. Looks like it comes with a couple different charging cables. This is just like a single charging cable. It uses USB and a connector for the battery. And then this is a multi one. Fair warning, or fair disclosure, I guess, rather, I have already opened this thing up and used it a little bit. So I actually have already charged up the batteries, and this works pretty well. I was able to charge 2 at a time, but there are ports for 4. So presumably you can do all 4 at a time if you need to. So 2 different ways of doing that. And over here are some, looks like some spare parts of some sort. Just got bare wires if you want to repair this thing. So that is the unboxing of it. All in all, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited to check it all out, and we'll let you know more in the next section. Sorry, just realized one last piece was buried in here. This is the USB SD card reader. So it does have an SD card in the back of the camera here. It's kind of hard to see there, but it's a little micro SD card, and this is an adapter, so you can plug it into your computer and transfer files off of it. So forgot about that. Sorry, guys. All right. Well, I've just spent the last couple of minutes trying to trim this thing out. I have 0 experience flying one of these things, and 0 experience with flying and aerodynamics and whatnot in general. And it's taken me a couple minutes to use the instruction manual, but it seems like it's worked pretty well. Not perfect yet, but after a few minutes, the battery did die. Now, what was cool about it is that it went into a power saving mode. You can't see it now because it's actually totally dead. But it went into a power saving mode. All the lights on the thing started flashing, and it calmly set itself down. So it didn't just up and die on me and crash. So that was pretty cool. I do have a few extra batteries. I didn't actually charge them. I'm just using them with the charge that they came with, so I'm not even sure if that's a full charge, but I'm going to go ahead and plug one of these things in and see how they work out. A couple little things to note after my first attempt fiddling with it. It did come with a screwdriver. These little rotor guards that you see that I've installed, they just go on using this screwdriver. It's a pretty small screwdriver. Again, trying to get my iPhone to focus on this. I apologize. But anyway, it's pretty small. It's like an eyeglass size screwdriver, but it did come with one, which was cool. So if you don't have one, you can use theirs. It's not the nicest thing in the world, but it certainly does the job. A couple of other just notes. I can't say they're necessarily good or bad because, as I said before, I don't have one of these, but all of this stuff is really, really light. Maybe it's designed that way for better battery usage and so on. To my unexperienced, untrained eye. It just doesn't have a super high quality feel to it. I don't want to necessarily zing it for that. I can't say it's really impacting anything, at least not yet, but it is an observation I thought you'd like to know. The other thing about this is the remote. It's also pretty light, doesn't have a super premium feel, but again, not necessarily a bad thing. One thing that's a little bit weird is that there's these buttons here, and I was trying to fiddle with them before I charged it up and turned it on, and it didn't do anything. And I thought, well, maybe it's one of those digital things. Once you power it up, then all of a sudden this will do things, and then there's, you know, buttons over here. But no, it basically appears they're just there for looks, I suppose, because reasons. That's it so far. But I'm gonna go ahead and charge this thing up again and keep trying to figure it all out. And I'll be back soon. Alright, well, battery 2 is now dead. You can see it's giving me that low battery light. It did land softly again, like it did before, which was cool. There is a camera on the bottom. I mean, certainly no super duper high def camera, but it is there. And I'm going to try to figure that out. It might take me a while before I get back. There is, in the camera though, a memory card. 4 gig memory card, looks like. Came as part of the package, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to try to shoot some video with this thing, give you guys an idea what you're looking at. The instruction manual is, well, kind of helpful. If you've seen the term English before, that is kind of the way these instructions are written. They're not super clear, but you should be able to figure them out with a little bit of head scratching and some creativity maybe. But, you know, not too bad. It does go over like how to fine-tune the controls using these buttons here. You can kind of fine-tune some things like that, so that's pretty cool. And let's see, what else was there? Oh, I did use my stopwatch this time. The battery lasted roughly a little bit over 7 minutes, about 7 minutes 19 seconds. That was not of consistent use. It was going up, then it'd go down, and I'd fly it over to the couch somewhere over there, and then I'd have to stop it and bring it back and turn it off and turn it on again. So not consistent use, but I was able to get about 7 minutes of off again, on again use. The cover letter said 5. Inside the book, they said 7. So a little bit of inconsistency there, but 5 to 7 seems to be pretty about right. My guess would be if I was using it consistently, you know, not landing it and moving it and taking it off again, probably about 5 minutes of consistent use seems to be about right. So there you go. That's the next little chapter. I'm going to try to figure out the video thing, and then I'll get back to you. Well, that's pretty much it for my experience with this thing. Overall, it's been a lot of fun. Couple of observations, and then I'll wrap it up. First of all, these little silver things, and I couldn't quite figure out what they were. I think they are spare motors. So presumably, if something goes bad, you can replace a motor and keep on going. So that's cool. Gives you a couple spares. In the back of the instruction manual, there's a whole parts guide So it would appear, at least based on what they're saying, that you can get spare parts for this thing or replacement parts if that's what you're looking to do. So overall, I had a lot of fun. I will say these batteries, yeah, 5 to 7 minutes, that's about all you're going to get out of them. So while this could be a fun toy to play with in your backyard, I'm not sure if the type of thing you're going to be taking to the park or anything like that, because you've only got 5 minutes of airtime, and then according to the manual, 75 minutes of charging time. So it's not a whole lot of juice. Again, I don't have a whole lot of experience with these things, so maybe that's average. Maybe that's the norm. I would be curious to see if larger, higher capacity batteries are available, because this thing is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to kind of tool around with it. It looks like there's some stunts you can do. The instruction manual mentioned that one of these buttons flips it over in the air. You can do some like barrel rolls or something with it. I didn't get to the point of being brave enough to do that. If you saw my video, you saw how much this thing was bouncing around in the first place. So it's definitely going to be some practice to get used to it. But after going through 2.5 batteries, so, you know, maybe a total of 15 minutes at most of airtime, you know, I was feeling pretty good with it. It's definitely a little bit of a learning curve, but I was definitely feeling pretty good with it. So all in all, I'm really happy with it. I want to thank my brother for getting it for me. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it. Seems to work pretty well. Don't have any complaints. So thanks so much. Hope this helps you guys.